Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Quixotic Topic. I'm your host, Daquan, and today I am joined by
Austin.
and
Gerald?
and today we will be talking about standardized testing, specifically the SAT and the ACT and its implications. So, Austin, would you like to start us off?
So I've taken the ACT and ACT multitude of times. My bad. My bad for stuttering. So I've taken it a total of 5 times, I'm pretty sure. I've taken the SAT 2 times, and I've taken the subject test once. I've taken the ACT 2 times. And my opinion on the SAT and the ACT is that it's really not a good representation of students' abilities, because it's just only a representation of their test-taking abilities. Now, I've taken the ACT twice. The second time I took it, I didn't even study for it. I felt I was so unprepared. I felt like I did awful. But like after, that was like my best score out of all my 5 tests I've taken. So it's just like, wow, if I don't study for this, I get a good grade. What does it show about other students who study really hard and don't get good grades?
Interesting point. Joe, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, so for me, I've only taken the SAT. I've taken the SAT twice, and I've taken the subject test once. So, in my opinion, the SAT and the ACT really only determine a student's ability to do test taking skills. It doesn't test their actual aptitude or their actual ability to comprehend, to read, to write, to do math. Really, the point of the SAT is to assign a number that colleges can use to determine whether or not they are a good fit for the school. Even though really it doesn't give a good representation of the student as a holistic, colleges like to use this whole holistic approach when they are giving an accurate description of the student. But really, the SAT is not a good representation of that, as Austin said.
One way I know that the ACT does not measure your ability, like do like math, science, or reading, is that I took the reading test. I did not read a single passage, and I got my best score on the reading. I got a 31 without reading a single passage.
Wow, so did you just like
Yes,
guess
yes.
pretty much?
I guessed.
Huh, that's
I guessed on every single question.
That's
in the
pretty
reading section.
risky, seeing as that like, don't you have to pay to take both of the ACT and the SAT?
Yes.
Yeah, that like, I mean, I admire the amount of courage that takes to like just walk into the test room, and just like guess blindly. But I feel that might attribute itself mainly to the like anxiety that surrounds the SAT and the ACT. It's like I would never do that. Like I'm too
Well,
scared because of the fact that I've been conditioned to believe that the SAT and ACT is more important than it probably actually is, which is something that you were both, I feel like, agreeing on, in the terms that it's not a true aptitude of someone as much as how good they are at something. That something being preparation.
well, like
Right.
the thing is, when I walked into that testing room, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do good on it." Like after the first section, which was the English section, I was like, "You know what? I don't feel like doing this anymore. This whole thing is dumb. Standardized testing is dumb itself. I'm just gonna guess." So I guessed on like my English, no, on my reading section, on my science testing section and math section. I actually tried a little bit. Like I did half the problems. So I was like, "Screw this. I don't really care anymore." Then I just like started circling answers. But like I still got like a 34 on that, like on the total ACT. And I was like, wait, I didn't try. Why? It's just like I didn't even read half the problems.
Yeah, like what's
Why?
the point?
Yeah. So
It's
if I can do this,
Yeah.
like just like reading the question, just like looking at the answers, like, hey, this one seems like it could be right. Then like, what does this really say about how they're testing you on like, hey, is he actually reading the passage? Hey, is he analyzing the passage and seeing what the context is? It's just saying, hey, how good are you at picking answers? And
Well,
That's basically what
Yeah.
it is.
And also in that
Yes.
sense, like I guess blindly picking answers on a test is in itself a strategy.
I
In fact,
mean,
like the only way you could take a test without strategy, I feel, is just to not take the test.
that could still be a strategy. Like, if you don't submit a score, they can't really judge your score.
Mm.
Like,
Okay, yeah, that's.
I don't know about
I
that
understand
one.
because I mean, like, if you don't submit a score, it could be 0 or it could be like a 37.
so exactly, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter if the highest is a 36. They don't know if you can do better than that.
Right, it's like Schrodinger's test. Until you tell them what it is, they can't really know. But I feel like the gun that shoots that bird out of the sky is the fact that colleges will tend to assume the lower hand
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
like if you don't submit
right.
one, oh, you probably did bad on it, which is pessimistic. But
I guess
like,
it's pretty like acceptable for them to think that because like, why would you not submit it?
right, it's like especially given that Well, I think the only reason, like valid reason to not submit it is if you genuinely like weren't in a position to take it,
Yeah.
Right.
which is another thing that we
For
have
fee
really.
waivers, they give out fee waivers for that.
Right,
now.
there's fee waivers, but there's also people that don't know about those fee waivers, and like
Yeah.
those that are more economically disadvantaged, like they're pretty much like shut out from later education because of the fact that don't know, which is an interesting spin on like the SAT and ACT. I know that they have internationally, there's like specific versions of these standardized testing, and like I haven't seen them per se, but from what I've heard, they're like drastically different. And so it's interesting to see. I've been used that word way too much, but it's interesting to see how like third world countries, for example, are forced to uphold similar yet different standards when they're trying to come to U.S. schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I find interesting is the whole like subject matter of SAT and ACT tests. To be honest, because like there will be times where I'll be sat reading in the reading section for like the SAT, for example, and every now and then it'll be a really interesting article, and assuming that they like select these at random, it's surprising how many like actual bangers of stories are in these tests. Like I remember reading one that was about
Well, I don't think you can disclose the information technically because the SAT can cancel your scores if you discuss this test.
That's true.
okay,
So be careful with your
about
words.
that. I know for a fact we can't talk about. Oh wait, no, you're right. Yeah, we can't talk about.
Like the passages, like what they are.
Yeah. Wait, but it's the latest.
But has it been
Right.
released by the SAT?
Yeah. It should have been released by now because the
But
one I'm
has
talking.
it because like certain tests get released and they haven't released that test, then
Huh?
they could see this podcast like, nope.
Yeah.
Your scores are gone.
I see what you mean. Okay, so let me think back to like
7 years ago.
yeah, 7 years ago when I first took it. Yeah, but I guess to that extent, we can all agree that there are like really interesting things in the SAT, and if this was just like a collection of like maybe if someone came out with an anthology of all of the scientific articles and whatnot that were talked about in the SAT, and then maybe we could reference that book instead of using the actual SAT, and then everything would be just peachy. Yeah. It's a shame that we have to like consistently dance around all these restrictions that are putting you in the SAT, and that's another thing. Like I'm not using the ACT very much because I have more experience with the SAT. I've taken it around like 4 times, I think. But one thing that I always find interesting is that like no matter how many times you take it, because they know you've taken it multiple times because College Board loves to store your information. But I find it interesting that every time you walk in, you always have to follow a specific procedure, and you have to like cross your T's and dot your I's, and if you don't, then like they risk of cancellation. Like it's,
They love that word.
yeah, it's so like bare bones and like laid out in front of you. It's I feel it's unnecessarily imposing, especially given that the demographic of people taking the SAT is mainly like middle to high school kids.
Yeah.
It's like when you're a no, not high, but when you're a middle school kid and you're just like,
Taking
and the most
PSAT.
right, the PSAT, and the most challenging thing that you've done was, I don't know, like dunk on someone. When you're all of a sudden having to like walk in with all of your button-up shirt and your
But you dress up
Your
for the
two
PSAT?
pencils,
I didn't know
yeah.
that was a thing. Like, is that like a...
well, that's actually something that my physics teacher here at North Carolina School of Science and Math has told me, that no matter what across the board, you will always like your IQ will drop a couple of points before the test, and that's just because of the fact that it's a test. And the one of the few ways to circumvent that is to dress up.
Ooh, okay, I have the opposite experience. So, like, whenever I take the test, I wear the most comfortable clothes and, like, the most, like, bummish outfit.
Yeah,
so I can,
same.
like, so comfortable.
Yeah.
Because that's how I do, like, my regular homework. Like, when I'm at home, I was like, oh, I'm just wearing, like, pajamas or, like, a durag or something. I was like, oh, taking my test, and everybody else is looking at me like, what is this dude doing? Why is he looking like this?
What is this? Look at this dude. Whose man's is this? Yeah. I've never like taken that advice like seriously in terms of dressing up. Like, I don't have the energy, honestly, to dress up before a test.
Right.
Imagine
Yeah,
walking to the
7
ACT
a.m.
and just seeing like everybody else is dressed up in like dresses, skirts, and like
Suits.
a tuxedo. And you're just there in like sweatpants. Like, is this the wrong place? Like,
Just for the job you want, not the one you have.
facts.
Yeah.
Like, also, like,
No.
have you taken the subject test for the SATs?
Yeah, I've taken it.
I have not.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
I don't even know how to explain it.
It's so I don't know, detrimental, like, because after I've taken 3 on one day, and really after a while, like, it gets draining after a while. You just don't even know, like, what you don't even, you just start circling in answers after a while,
Like-
because you just, yeah.
Like, how are you supposed to answer 110 questions in like 60 minutes? Like, that's just like, I understand.
That's
Like,
another thing, like, pacing on the
it's like,
test.
it's like so dumb. Like, I don't have the energy to take it again, so I'm not going to. I'm probably just gonna submit my ACT and not even submit my SAT subject test scores.
Solid strat.
But like, it's just the whole fact that like we had to do this so often, like commit so much time to studying for these tests to get into college. Just like, I don't even know. Is college really all that? Like, I know, okay, I know what you're thinking. Hey, college is important because you have to get a degree and you have to learn information to get a job.
Well, I mean,
Like-
you don't have to get a
I
degree.
mean,
and you don't have to have one to get a job.
You don't have to have a job.
I mean, like, the main appeal to like college is that it's a foothold in order to get the job that you want.
Yes.
So like because there's a lot of jobs that don't require degrees, but a lot of those jobs are stuff like what's the term?
McDonald's workers.
Well, I mean, not
Minimum wage
service
people.
jobs or
What-
maintenance.
blue collar.
Blue collar, yeah, that's a good
blue
word to
collar
use.
jobs. And so like a college is pretty much your gateway to white collar jobs, which is typically more like cubicle things.
Unless
or-
you're an art major.
Oh yeah, art majors.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I want to touch on later. But I would say that college is and also isn't all that. Because like it is all that because our society has kind of organized itself so that it has to be, but it isn't all that for the exact same reason. I mean, like we easily could have organized things differently in which we wouldn't have to do it. In fact, that's why the education systems in other countries are different. For example, I think it's Britain that has like a grade 15.
A grade
Grade
15.
15.
I would like that. But then again, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, but like at the same time, like grade 15 is basically college. It's the same kind of
Right.
conversion between a euro and a dollar, like grade 15 and
It's like 355.
yeah, or like being a senior in college is they're equivalent. And that might not be the accurate equivalency, but I feel like you get my point. Another thing that's also interesting about college is how specialized people get. Because, like, I mean, I'm sure just about everyone before they go to college has, like, a specific degree in mind. It's like,
Not me.
well, I mean, that's
Not me.
not that that's a bad thing, honestly. That's another stigma that honestly should be reversed. But one thing that I find interesting is that with so many people that go into college who do know what they want to do, there's kind of a division that you see because the people who are doing what they want to do will align themselves with other people who do things closer to what they do, which makes complete and total sense. And it's here that we kind of get the stereotypes of an art major, a STEM major, and a business major. And this is from like
Women's studies major.
a what?
Women's studies.
Women's studies.
That's
Could
an
you-
actual major, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't know what you were
Yeah.
talking about.
Uh-huh.
And so it's interesting to see how like art majors and STEM majors will consistently like pick on each other because like
Like, as art major's like, hey, you have so much work. STEM major's like, hey, I'm actually gonna have a job.
Right.
yeah, that's one of them. And then like both of them are like shunned by business majors because like I think business majors are always pictured to be really uptight. Like they're the kind of people that wear a tuxedo to the SAT.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Really, do you even need take the SAT, or do you need to take a
Yes.
class like for business major?
Wait.
Is there really a point to? You can just start a business.
Okay, I don't think
That's
that's
an
like good.
interesting point.
Like even if you don't get like a major, like a degree in business, like my dad is an entrepreneur and he has to go to like all these classes. Like, oh, we have to learn this information about this, or we have to learn this information about this. So you don't really need a degree. You know, like what type of thing we want to go into. So like it's just like,
I feel like you need experience just working with
Yeah,
people.
definitely
This
experience.
yeah.
or you could take like independent classes because that's what my dad and his wife does.
Yeah, yeah, and so that's where like the whole college isn't all that kind of comes in because you go into the workforce and like there's people expecting you to have 15 years of experience,
Right.
and you literally just got out of college,
Right.
Like, you have 25 years of experience. I am 25.
I've been working on
Right.
this since day one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but what was I about to say? Yeah, entrepreneurship is interesting because from what I know, like it works recursively, in the sense that, like, for example, in an entrepreneurship class, entrepreneurs teach that in order to make more money.
Yeah.
And which is kind of a pyramid scheme. Well, not specifically
Teachers
They
pyramid.
sell their books. They
Yeah.
teach
Yeah, they
classes
sell-
on it.
Right, and then like they
Right.
teach you how to do it, and then you do it to someone else, and so like they're
Right.
using you for money so that you can use someone else for money.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I love that.
All right, so we have a capitalist in the room.
Actually, I'm not going into that.
Yeah, this is fine, but so capitalism is an interesting notion, and the fact that like it's more of a momentum game, honestly, and the fact that like you need money in order to make more money.
Yeah.
And like if you don't have money, it's really hard to make money, which I think is
But it's like it's meant to be that way. Like if you think about the structure of like U.S. economics, like the reason they have like colleges in the first place, so like people like of lower class won't be able to access to higher education. Like that's why they have a Yale, Harvard, or like there was a person coming into the room. Please excuse us 1 second.
Yeah, we'll take a
one
quick
minute.
pause. And we're back. So, Austin, continue with your thought.
So I was reading a book last year in one of my classes called American Studies, called History of Americas by Howard Zinn. And in chapter 6 or 7, I think, called Robber Barons, it's about how the people with power basically made it so people with like no power, like people of lower classes, couldn't get access to like higher education. So like my bad. I forgot where I was going with this because I lost my train of thought.
Oh, darn.
I'm
Yes,
so
because of
sorry.
the pause.
Yes,
I mean,
my
yeah, it
fault.
happens.
Yeah.
That's like, we'll bounce off of that. How do you feel pauses in thought can impact how your delivery in something can be?
It's just like
Jill, we'll put this
Yeah.
question over to you.
Yeah, so I feel like when you pause, you sort of like have to recollect your thoughts, but then you sort of forget what you're going to say. When you get on a roll, you get on a roll. You start talking and you start getting pumped up and fired about what you're saying.
pumped up.
Yeah, you start listening fast. You start owning people, but then like once you pause, you're like, oh, that you sort of deflate, and then you sort of don't.
Yeah, yeah, it's a momentum game.
Yes.
So
Right.
You
It's
have
all
to
about
have
physics. It's all about P equals MV.
What?
People-
Potential energy equals.
No, that's moment.
Oh,
P
okay.
equals momentum.
Oh, momentum. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm not a physics major, so I don't.
Yeah,
know
me
anything
neither.
about that.
Yeah, and I'm an art
I-
major actually.
Well, that's why you're doing a
So-
podcast.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at my degree in communications.
And can we also talk about how people don't use their degrees that much anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Like most people, like our answer teachers, they have degrees in like STEM fields, but they really don't use it that much as they would like to in their class.
I had a teacher last year for math who didn't even have a math degree, and like she was like the worst teacher of all time. I was so
But
confused.
she still got
Wow.
the job.
Yes,
Like,
wow. like I was just coming to class. Like sometimes she'll bring somebody else into class to teach us, and she'd like be recording them. Like I remember the most memorable thing I learned from the class was like her son had a mixtape. She used to play her son's mixtape.
Oh.
And like she was like, "Oh, my son makes it big. I don't have to work this job anymore." And she's not here anymore, so I guess his son made it big.
Or
I can agree with that. Yeah, let's
Or-
just say that's the reason.
well, I mean, maybe like she was one of the few people who, instead of having a college degree, had 25 years of experience.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, like as we said before, that's all you really need.
Did you know like
Yeah.
70% of physics teachers in high school haven't taken physics outside of high school?
Did you also know that 69% of statistics were made up on the spot?
Wow.
Did you know 70% of stair-related accidents were related to stairs?
Really?
Yes.
I wasn't aware of that.
Only 70%.
70%. Where did the other 30% come from?
Don't worry about that. That's a secret.
The secret.
So, wait. What?
No, statistics is math, but like without the actual math.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it
it's
is.
a
That's
number.
very. That's really. It actually is. Yeah.
Explain.
Okay, so I'm taking differential equations right now,
Uh-huh.
and we have probability in like calculus, right? Like I just can't imagine that in statistics because they don't have like integrals, they don't have like derivatives, they don't have any of that stuff.
None of the fancy bells and whistles of calculus.
Exactly. So if it's not calculus, it's not actual math.
Well, that's not true.
Says
actu-
who?
Well, it says algebra, pre-algebra.
Algebra, pre-algebra is not
trigonometry.
math. It's just 1 + 1, and 1 + 1 is not math. It's
You know
just
what?
kindergartners.
1 + 1 is
Yeah.
arithmetic. Arithmetic is the
know
foundation
what?
for all math. Like when we were, well, not we, but like when humans as a civilization were like babies, we're talking about like Sumer, Mesopotamia. Like
Yeah.
Jokes on you for assuming I'm civilized.
you're here, aren't you? Like way back when, they literally came up with numbers so they could keep track of, I don't know how many.
How
Like,
many sheep they have, or
I
how many
mean,
they put stones,
I feel like
rocks, and
once they came up with numbers, they really know what numbers were because like they didn't even because like they didn't even know what 0 was. So can you really
They're trying-
trust them?
well, I mean,
Zero
zero wasn't a number back then as much as it was a concept. In fact, it might still be actually like a concept. I'm not sure if it's an actual integer, but like zero was meant in order to explain the unexplained. In fact, numbers and like the entirety of science was meant to explain the unexplained.
So if you explain the unexplained, doesn't mean there's no use for the things that explain the unexplained. So it doesn't mean they cancel out. And they
All
don't
right, you
exist.
just explained a little too many times, and that's
that's
the
the
point
point.
I need you to.
That is the point.
Okay, so you meant to confuse me. All
Yes.
right. We're gonna back this up a bit. You know, I actually don't even really remember what you said. So congratulations, you were successful in confusing me.
Yes.
Back to my
oh
point.
my goodness.
Arithmetic is math. I think we can all like agree on that, right, Gerald?
Yeah, we can agree on that.
Sad face.
You can't sad face to the podcast. It's just an audio wave, which is math.
Sad audio wave.
What?
Sad audio wave. You be like that sometimes.
Oh
Well,
my goodness.
so from that, are you talking about how like certain forms of music and I guess audio waves are meant to elicit specific moods?
Yes.
That's another like very
Yeah.
interesting topic and the fact of like, I don't have this like 100% locked down, but I'm pretty sure it's like lower notes tend to connotate more of a sense of calm.
Well, yes, because like I love listening to Minecraft music.
Oh,
This
okay.
might be like kind of weird, but like my favorite song is Alpha.
Yeah, just a little bit. Would you like to explain what alpha is?
So Alpha is a song on the Minecraft beta album.
Beta album.
Yes.
There are
They have
albums
an
for this?
album.
They have
I
two
did not-
albums of Minecraft.
Oh, okay. So as
Wow.
a
It's made by C14.
oh, right.
Well, yeah, C418. C418.
So C 418.
Yes.
Okay.
And like,
Math.
oh, okay. First of all, I don't know.
Second of all right.
Okay, so so my favorite songs on the two albums, which is like the first one's like Beta, then the second one's like Minecraft, I think.
It's called Minecraft. So it's a song by C 418 called Minecraft.
No,
for
like
Minecraft.
it's an album. But
So-
on the album there was a song
So
called
on the
Minecraft.
album for a video game called Minecraft, there's an album called Minecraft.
I'm pretty sure
with
it's
a
called
song called Minecraft.
You know what? I don't need your. Okay, wait. First of all, why are you criticizing?
I'm not criticizing. I'm trying to understand.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
trying. So
Okay,
you're
I'll-
explaining the unexplained.
Wait, so does that mean that I am math?
Yes, you are math.
Wait. It's just wait. Oh yeah. Okay. So there are two albums. The first one that came out in 2011 is called Minecraft Volume Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is called Minecraft Volume Beta.
Okay.
Alpha is on Volume Beta. And don't question it. It's just...
I'm gonna question it regardless.
Okay, so on Volume Alpha, my favorite songs are Minecraft, Wet Hands, Chris, Droopy Likes Your Face, Sweden,
Oh.
and Subwoofer Lullaby.
Subwoofer Lullaby.
Yes.
Okay.
And like,
Okay.
so the reason I like those because like it's just like so calm and peaceful, but they use mostly low notes.
Mhm.
And, like I learned how to play on piano. It's like so relaxing, just like pressing notes and feeling the vibrations inside your body.
Ah, yes.
And it's
Well,
like-
wait. When you play a piano, the vibrations actually go inside your body?
Well, like
Well, I
You
mean, I
feel
guess
it.
with like.
if you're playing it, like if you play it loud enough,
Oh, well, I mean, who plays the piano loud? You play it in piano.
people.
Ah.
Oh my
Ah.
god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Touche.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you would feel the vibrations because the sound produced from the piano would be going through your ears and then like your eardrum, and so like
vibrates.
yeah.
So like no matter what, like I'm feeling your vibration. Okay, this
Yeah,
sounds
you-
kind of
you-
weird.
You feeling my vibes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
just say that.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
I think I might have stole your thunder there.
Wow.
But yeah. So that's an interesting notion. Do you? Well, I mean, Minecraft in itself.
It's great. I just played it like for like 2 hours
Yeah,
today.
is to prepare for the podcast.
Yes.
All right, so at 25 minutes, I'm starting talking about Minecraft. Well, yeah, Minecraft is a very peaceful game.
The best game of all time.
I disagree. Minecraft, in my like video gaming history, was something I played like a lot, like the end of elementary school, like beginning of middle school, just about. And so like Minecraft will always have that nostalgic feel for me because back when I didn't have like 3 to 2 hours of work a day after school, I would just sit on the computer for ludicrous amounts of time, probably way longer than is generally advised, and I would just play Minecraft. One thing that I never did, however, is play on single player mode.
No, that was a no for me.
Yeah.
No for me, Chief. Like, so I had a girlfriend. Well, I have a girlfriend. Like this summer, we were playing Minecraft a lot, and she used to have like these group chats and all these pages. Like, oh, I have like these groups of people I play Minecraft with, and we could play. So we used to play on Mineplex. I'm like give out the information,
Mineplex.
like, but we used to.
I think the server is us.mineplex.net. No,
Or is it .com?
I don't
Or is it
remember.
.net?
I used to have like an encyclopedic
I was
knowledge
just
of
on it
all
like
of these.
10 minutes ago. I do not remember.
I mean, it doesn't matter because like as soon as you boot it up, you can direct connect into, well, not direct connect, but you can connect without having to type in the IP ever again. It's a one and done kind of job.
Yeah, that's true. Well, except if you like, direct connect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like-
I mean, of course. Jill, do you have any interesting Minecraft stories? I
Oh,
feel like
so-
everyone's played Minecraft.
Yeah, I played Minecraft around 6th grade and ended around 8th grade. My brother, I didn't really have like a computer to play Minecraft with. I always played it on the Xbox. So I was one of those kids that like didn't like know the commands and controls and all the stuff, the different
I'm so
potions.
sorry for you.
I didn't know the formulas. I didn't memorize all the formulas for Minecraft. I just put it in the formula. There was a sheet.
Oh yeah,
I
the
put it
crafting
in.
table.
Yeah, the crafting table. Yeah, so I didn't really play it, but I did go on servers, and I will say there was one server where like the kids like on it, they like used it to like sort of like do death games, like a Hunger Games thing, but like sort of it had a lot of rules on it, and I don't know, it was like really interesting.
Yeah, a lot of my friends used to like create games in Minecraft or like build mansions or
Yeah,
games
definitely.
in Minecraft. And like it was like so weird because like I would have like one set of friends who like, oh, I want to build. Then I have another set of friends like I want to troll people. So like
Yeah.
so I'd be in
Yeah.
my one set of friends like game, like the other friends would join, like I'm gonna blow up this guy's world, and like
Yeah.
they're
You-
gonna fights all the time.
Definitely.
Like, also like, did you play PlayStation, right?
Yes, I do play PlayStation.
You don't have a console.
Xbox.
You
Yeah, I have it at home.
you have a one.
Yes, one.
Why do you not bring
Hey.
it to school?
I just did. I didn't have a monitor.
Who
but
plays
it-
video games at school?
I don't know. That's so weird. I would
That's
never
so
play
weird.
video games.
I'm the one who literally just played Minecraft for 2 hours.
But yeah, so it was so interesting because like you have these parties of people, like they're always getting in fights for no reason at all. They start roasting each other. It was like the best experience ever because like you're like, hey, I'm about to get roasted, but hey, these are my friends. And like,
Yeah,
I love them
definitely.
for it.
That's
Yeah.
It was like,
I definitely get you with that because one thing that we've kind of lost in today's culture, well, I mean today's society, I guess we live in a society. But one thing that we've definitely I feel has fallen by the wayside is teasing in as a means to deepen relationships.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like it depends because like
Yeah, it definitely
Certain
it's a
groups.
slippery slope. But like as you were just talking about, where like you would be in a group of friends and they would genuinely be making fun of you and like insulting you, but because of the fact that you knew that they were doing it out of a place of endearment, made you feel closer to that person. I feel that now because of so many online nexuses and whatnot, and like how it's extremely easy to meet like 15 strangers at once online. That kind of sentimentality of roasting has been lost. This evidence for this is the like how sarcasm is practically impossible to convey online.
Yeah.
well, like even when I do sarcasm in real life, people just think, oh, Austin, why are you saying this? That's offensive. Okay, it might be offensive at the time.
Well, what kind of sarcasm are you using?
Never mind. Let's not talk about that.
Okay,
on
well,
this
I mean, it
podcast.
seems like you have your answer then.
Like yeah, like you were saying with the deepening relationships, like my closest friends, like all the relationships I have, like if you're my girlfriend, we bully each other. Like we're about to say, you're so stupid, I'm gonna beat you up, I'm gonna stab you with a knife. Okay, not like in an abusive way. I know it sounds kind of
yeah,
abusive.
it definitely does.
Yeah.
Like it's like except like when it does get abusive, and like when it does get abusive, like that's kind of like, oh, I gotta go. Like
What? Wait, what?
hold on.
Okay,
Don't worry about that.
That wow.
Anyways, like I was saying, this like classic insults like, oh, you're dumb, like, oh, you're just like, you suck at this, oh, you suck at this, oh, you suck in general, you're a bad person, oh, like stuff like that.
You are not good at video games.
That's
That's one of
hurtful,
the,
man.
yeah, that's one of the worst insults of all time.
Oh my God.
If someone calls me bad at video games, I have to like rethink my entire life because it's like,
This is a-
what?
You ever just like,
Bruh.
I feel like, so I am around a lot of African Americans who play 2K a lot, and like we play Pro Am. It was like when you lose and they just start blaming each other, like, "Oh, it's your fault we lost. We need to drop him from the team." Like when you get dropped from the team, that
Yeah,
hurts so bad. Cause,
that-
like,
yeah.
you know,
It hits
four of your
heavy.
close friends like, "I don't want you playing with me anymore." It's like, dang, what am I supposed to do with my life?
I
now?
have better people to play with. Yeah, I remember when I used to play Destiny. This was not too long after I stopped playing Minecraft. Actually, this was my first kind of foray rather into online experiences, and I would remember like joining a party of like 4 or 6 other people. And because of the fact that I was like a child and objectively bad at video games, as opposed to how subjectively bad at video games I am now, people, when I would play with them and like have like what's a bad KD? Like 0.25?
Like 1,
Yeah, 1.
because like I'm such a god that like, if you're positive, you're not really positive to me.
Wait, no, 1's a good KD.
No, it's not to me.
Well, okay. KD for the people listening is
Kill
is
death ratio.
Yeah, kill death ratio, which while on the topic of relatively violent video games, when playing multiplayer video games is a measure of how many kills you got to compared to how many times you died. Usually higher KDs are associated with better skill. And so my KD would always be like some small decimal, because the denominator being the deaths would be way larger than the kills. With I don't think it's possible. Well, yeah, it is possible to have a KD of just 0.
Well,
because-
yeah, if you don't get any kills.
if you don't get any kills.
But
And so
what I don't understand is like, when you get 1 kill, you get 0 deaths. Like, how do you have 1 KD? Like, I don't understand.
because you
that.
can't divide by 0. We
What?
just
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about math, Austin.
You know what? Your KD should be unlimited. Because
My KD is infinity.
Exactly. If I don't ever die, you can't assume my KD.
Colleges will accept you based on your KD.
God.
Exactly.
But
Aren't there like gaming like classes and gaming majors?
yes,
in
yes,
college?
that is actually something that has been put into consideration, given that gaming, it feels weird to say, is becoming like such a job.
Facts.
Like, I mean, we live in a world where
Well, it's been a job for like
yeah, it's been
like
it's,
a dozen years.
it's been a
Yeah.
job for yeah, right, but a dozen years compared to like the millennium that metallurgy has existed. Like metallurgy in terms of the dealing with metals and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
I guess a better example would be like chemistry, because
Okay.
chemistry's been around
Like
for
alchemists
like
and stuff.
forever and a half. But like compare how long that's existed to how long gaming has existed, it's very small.
Yes.
And so like to see the amount of development that has gone towards pursuing gaming as a career has been and it's cool to see because it's happening on both sides in terms of being a gamer, someone who's playing games a lot, and also game design. Gerald, your thoughts?
Oh yeah, so I think that gaming design is more like a computer skill. Really, computers have been around for I think the last like 30 years or so. So it's still really sort of a niche like market. There's not a lot of people that can program still, I guess you can say. And it's sort of been like slowly creeping its way into the other STEM fields like biology and medicine, all of that stuff. You sort of need to know how to program in today's society, especially with STEM majors.
Oh yeah, definitely. In
Yeah.
fact, programming has like really good what's it expectation for growth in terms of like job markets is like it's booming.
Right.
Like it's like above 80%, I think last time I checked some obligatory website.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
we need people to replace. We need people to replace other people. We need people to design the computers that are going to replace humans.
I mean, like,
well, I mean,
what?
that's the way I
mean-
see it. We need people that know how to program the machines that are going to rise up and
That's more of like AI. Like,
yeah.
didn't we get
Well,
to that like?
once we get to that stage, when we get to this
I don't know
But
if
then,
we
like,
should be supporting this.
singularity.
Yeah, I don't know if we should be supporting that.
But then, like, at that stage, you still need like robots to replace, like, to repair the robots. They're like replacing the humans.
Yeah.
We need humans to fix those robots.
Yeah, for the listeners that don't know, the singularity is a hypothesized event that will happen that if we ever manufacture an AI that is capable of learning by itself, it'll become a runaway AI, and eventually we will be put into the dystopian Terminator-esque scenario in real life because of the fact that we will not be able to stop what we've created. That being robots that can learn and improve. But Gerald, you shed light on a very interesting problem that faces today. Is that like just as many jobs that are being created in computer programming, there are jobs being eliminated because of automation.
Right, yeah. So the job market, today's society, first we had agriculture, right? And then the Industrial Revolution came around, and we saw factory machines being built in the steam engine. And then, okay, people still have jobs. Less jobs, crummier jobs, agricultural jobs being eliminated, and we got new, cushier,
Cushier?
cushier, I don't know, factory jobs.
Child labor.
White.
Child,
Whoa,
child,
what?
well, that's an interesting point.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what
there was a
came-
lot more child labor, but also that labor could be arguably better since
Whoa!
in a sense,
Hold on.
Wait,
no,
okay.
no, I'm saying
Yeah.
compared to what it could have been had we stayed in those times of agricultural.
So are you saying that
Because people worked in farms, like children worked in farms, the family worked everyone worked on the farm.
So are you
So
saying
is-
that? Well,
well, I mean,
I do you want to?
yeah, I'll take
Okay,
it.
Okay.
yeah.
So if I'm understanding this right, are you saying the child labor that exists today is
Today we have
because like child labor still definitely exists. I feel we can agree on
Absolutely,
that.
yeah.
But are you saying that the child labor that exists today, the jobs that they're doing are less
Strenuous.
blue collar as the jobs of yesterday?
yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
That makes
yes.
sense. So like as opposed to
Childhood labor
working in a
mostly
sweatshop with a
with a pen and and they've got the toe tag on their ear or their toes or whatever, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
working like
Now they-
nonstop.
Oh, working in
Little
a coal
pay.
now
mine.
they're doing the same thing, but they have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. The air
Instead of
conditioning. I mean, it's
10 cents are getting 11 cents.
even the worst possible case scenarios. They're still better than they were back then.
Worst
Yeah.
possible case scenario.
Worst. Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Is that a double? No, it's not. Never mind. But disclaimer: child labor is
It's
bad.
bad!
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not-
Yeah, I mean, like you have to have like disclaimers these days because like people you don't know until you know. Like
You'll just be an
Right,
article, like,
people
oh,
might
NBC,
misconstrue my
NBC
words and-
podcast says child labor is good.
yeah, because this podcast has any authoritative weight whatsoever. Come here for all of your facts and knowledge.
Exactly.
100% accurate all the time.
You're just like Wikipedia, but like more accurate.
Wikipedia
Yeah.
better because
Yes.
because there's not too many
Exactly.
people. One thing that's really funny about Wikipedia is the fact that anyone can change anything.
Well, like I
It's-
feel like
it's so funny.
I feel like that's like not completely like accurate because
It is accurate,
Wait,
and
hold on.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
In the 4th grade, this and like we even had been told before this, don't use Wikipedia, and I was like, it couldn't hurt this one time, and so I had to write a paper on the BP oil spill, and guess what I
In
used as
4th
a
grade?
yes in 4th grade, Behringer Academic Center, shout out. Anyway,
what the fourth grade class was this?
the Behringer Academic
you wrote,
Center.
You wrote papers in 4th grade?
Yes, they weren't good papers.
Like
I was a 4th grader. Like, I mean, it did definitely help for 20th century philosophy and literature that I'm taking now. But it's scaffolding. It's just scaffolding. But anyway, the paper, I say in air quotes because you forced me to make the distinction. I used the only one of this is the only time in my academic career that I used Wikipedia as a source. And that was the only time that I got a C on a paper.
So you never use the actual Wikipedia. You use the sources that they use.
No,
You use
I just used
citations.
Wikipedia.
No.
I feel like did you list like Wikipedia as a source?
Yes.
I feel
Oh
like
my
they saw
God. Yeah,
I feel like they
that's-
saw Wikipedia was like, you know what? No.
Well,
See?
no, actually, one of the main linchpins that gave me the grade that I had was because I said that the BP oil spill occurred 3 years later than it actually did.
Oh my God.
Because I thought the information was correct.
Didn't it happen like 2007 or something?
Oh, don't quiz me on this. I got to see on the paper, so I don't know.
Wait. Wait, hold on. Wait, say something real quick. I'm just gonna look this up.
oh, okay. Well, excuse us as Austin destroys the fourth wall.
2010. 2010.
Okay,
So
yeah.
when were you in 4th grade?
I don't know.
I feel like because I feel like you said a date later than like there was actually. I feel like it was like 2012 and you said 2013. So I feel like you did something like
I
that.
probably said 2011.
So like in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what grade are we in now?
12th grade?
Okay, so that's 8 years.
Yeah.
So
It's been 8 years since I used Wikipedia as a source because now I know better.
so 2011.
yeah, that's math.
Okay, so my bad.
Nah, you're
Never
fine.
mind.
Yeah, but we've reached around about 43 minutes, and so as per usual, the methodology that I've devised for how these podcasts will be structured, I think we should go ahead and end it. And so, if you guys have any closing remarks.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me too.
Yeah, and thank you for having me. This was a great episode. I really enjoyed your conversation and input. Anyway, I've been Daquan. This is the Quixotic Topic. We'll catch you next time.